Hi everybody, Joe, We the People Firearms Training here. And if you're watching this video, it's because you just bought a new gun and you don't know where to go from here. You don't know what the next step is. First, I wanted to welcome you guys to the 2A community. It's a really fun place to be, and it's a whole lot of fun to go out and shoot. So in this video, I got a list of 5 things that I think every new gun owner should do. First thing is to learn the 4 firearm safety rules. These rules are ubiquitous across the land. They don't change. Anywhere you go, any reputable range, any reputable person you train with, shoot with, will all know the 4 firearm safety rules. Let's go over those briefly right now, but I have another video that I'll link in the description that goes into a more detailed, more in-depth discussion of all of those. First rule is treat all guns as if they're loaded. Okay, remember that. Treat all guns as if they're loaded. Never want to assume a gun is unloaded when you pick it up. Somebody hands you a gun, check to make sure it's clear before you start putting your fingers on the trigger or anywhere around it or anything like that. The next one is going to be keep your finger straight and off the trigger until the decision to shoot has been made. Okay. What we mean when we say that is keep your finger straight and up here off the trigger until the decision to shoot has been made. Don't keep it down here, because if you have smaller hands than I do, and I got monstrous hands, your finger might slip accidentally and go right into the trigger guard. So again, keep your finger straight and off the trigger until the decision to shoot has been made. Number 3, never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy. Don't point it at your friends as a practical joke. Don't point it at your dog, your cat, your husband, your wife, nothing. Okay. Don't point at anything you're not willing to destroy. And last but not least, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. Let's say you go to a buddy's house that has a large plot of land that you guys can shoot on. You're not in city limits. And you want to do some shooting there. Okay, awesome. Make sure that there's a nice safety berm behind wherever you're shooting at, so your shots don't travel into the next property, onto a road that's going behind the area you're shooting, and there's some minivan and hits somebody that's on their way to visit grandma for the weekend. Okay. So to recap, treat all guns as if they're loaded. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Never point your weapon at anything you're not willing to destroy, and know your target and what's beyond it. So the second thing you're going to want to do is learn about the operation of your gun. Take a minute to go through the owner's manual, take a look at everything that's in there to get a basic understanding of your pistol. Okay, to briefly go over a pistol right now, okay, we have several things on here. We have front sight, rear sight. I have a red dot on this. Red dot looks like that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Over here we have our takedown lever, slide release, magazine release, trigger guard, frame. This is the slide. The barrel is the opening on the end that the bullets come out of. Okay, just a few terms to start you off in the process. Okay. The first thing we're going to do whenever we pick up a gun is make sure it's clear. Okay, so to do that, we're going to drop the magazine. We're going to check to make sure that the chamber is clear. Then we're going to use the slide release here. It's going to fit right into that notch. So we're just going to pull the slide back, use your thumb to push the slide release right up into the groove there. Okay, we can lock that open. All right, from here we can check out to make sure that there's no magazine. You know, it's clear that way. And we can check the chamber. All right, get your finger in there, make sure there's no brass, so we know that the gun is clear. From here we can either grab the slide and rack it to get the gun back into battery, or we can use the slide release button right here to do the same thing. That's your basic run through of a pistol. All pistols are mostly the same, kind of like all cars are mostly the same. They all have a steering wheel, a gear shifter, a button to turn your headlights on, your windshield wipers on, radio, things like that. Okay, just fine-tuning, getting into the finer aspects of every single pistol is a little bit different, just like driving every car is a little bit different. The next thing I want to talk about is gun safes and gun storage. Where are you going to keep your gun when you're not home? What if somebody breaks into your house? Do you want them to have free access to your gun wherever you left it, on your bed, on your coffee table, on your nightstand? No. Keep it secure, keep it locked up. If you're home, take it out. If somebody breaks into your house, you don't want to have to run to your safe, put the combination in, pull your gun out, load the magazine, and then start facing off with the bad guy. It's not one of those, excuse me, Mr. Bad Guy, okay, I need you to wait a good minute so I can go to the other side of the house, put my combination in to get my gun loaded up, and then I can come back and fight you. It doesn't work like that in the real life. As far as safes go, what's a good safe? Well, there's a lot of different brands on the market, and I'm not going to do a review on every single one of them right now for this video. Is a big heavy safe something that I need to look into? Okay, it might be. That might be what's best for you. Another thing you might want to look at is covert furniture. Okay, have what looks like a bookcase, but it slides out and all your guns are right behind there. Yeah, it's not locked up, but your typical bad guy intruder doesn't know that your bookcase or whatever you have, coffee table, has a slide out drawer or slide out back to it where you can easily access your guns and start fighting back. They also don't require a key lock, a biometric lock, a combination to put in to get in. They're really nice, really secure. Another thing to consider when picking a spot to store your gun in your house is whether or not you have children. 75% of kids that live in a house with a gun know where that gun is stored. If you have kids that have friends over, you have to keep the gun secure from their friends also. Kids are very, very resourceful, okay? I don't know how you were as a kid. I know when I was a kid, I was always getting into Christmas presents, birthday presents, things like that. Came to the point where my parents had to keep mine and my brother's presents at work and only bring them home when they were already wrapped, or bring them home in a bunch of bags to wrap them so we couldn't see what they were. And only after they were wrapped would they ever see the light of day in our house. So that's just something to consider. It could be up in your attic. Kids love to go up in attics. Could be in your crawl space. Kids love to go in your crawl space. Behind something in your closet. These are all things that normal people would think that, hey, I can keep my gun here. It's safe from everybody else. Your kids are still going to find it, and you don't want to have them find it and not know what to do around it or how to use a gun safely. So when you think your children are ready, get some firearm training classes for your kids, okay? Whether it's just the safety rules, but don't make guns scary to them or forbidden to them. And you want to be able to accurately educate your kids about guns. You don't want them to find your gun and learn the hard way. That's why you see all these stories about kids were playing, found their dad's gun, and shot the other one because they weren't educated about firearm safety rules, what to do when they find a gun, and how to behave around a gun. The fourth thing I want to bring up is training. Find a good Pistol 1, Intro to Pistol class, something like that in your area. If you're anywhere in the Chicago suburbs or around the Chicago suburbs, I expect you guys to be checking the description, heading over to the website, signing up for a Pistol 1 class. All my students, after they're done with Pistol 1 class, always have the same remarks to me about feeling a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident around guns than they were when they walked in. But training doesn't stop after one gun class. Okay, you got to keep training. Practice at the range by yourself. Practice at the range with a buddy. At some point, sign up for other classes, maybe a rifle class, maybe a pistol 2 class, maybe a more tactical class. There's always a more advanced class of where you're at right now in your firearms journey to take. Training never stops. No matter how long you've been shooting, whether you're brand new to it or you've been shooting for a few years, there's always something new to learn. Maybe some new technique has come out, maybe something different has changed that could help make you a better shooter. And once you've taken that initial Pistol 1 class, don't stop there. There's always other things to learn. Sign up for a Pistol 2 class, maybe get into shooting rifles, take rifle classes, maybe get into more defensive pistol classes, concealed carry, anything like that to further your journey, make you a better shooter. The fifth and final thing I wanted to bring up is getting involved with the 2A community. Head out to your local range, talk to other shooters, befriend them. Maybe take some of your buddies out shooting. You guys can go in groups, train together, do drills against each other. Start talking to friends and family members about the gun you just bought. You might find that they're shooters too and just didn't say anything because they didn't want to appear as the local gun nut. Okay, well, if you both are gun nuts, then guess what? You just made a friend for life. Maybe once you've gotten some additional training in, start heading into competitions and shooting 2-gun, 3-gun competitions. There's really no ceiling when it comes to firearms training either. Start training, keep practicing. You're only going to get better over time. If you find an instructor or somebody that you shoot with that doesn't follow the firearm safety rules, they think you're too good for them, well, guess what? They're not good enough to train with you at the range. They're definitely not good enough to train with me at the range. Okay, so I want those people as far away from me as possible. You guys are amateurs if you think that you're too good for the firearm safety rules. Just go out and have fun. That's all I'm going to leave you with. So get out there, have some fun, kick some ass, and again, congratulations on being a new gun owner and welcome to the 2A community.